Okay, so brilliant. Welcome along to our latest Build a Profitable Online Business session. If you're new, you're very, very welcome here. This is really just my small contribution during this very, very difficult time, during the lockdown. Most of it, if you are new, is evergreen content. So this is stuff that has served me extremely well over the last 10 years where I've been full-time online, and it's evergreen marketing principles that you can use really that existed before the internet in many cases will continue to work very, very well. The only exception to that really is some of the tools that we talk about. In particular today, we'll be doing that as well. And those things, obviously, they can come and go, tools change and so on. But really, if you apply the main principles, then that is where the success lies. Now, it's a beautiful sunny day here in Cornwall. 20 odd degrees, so low 70s Fahrenheit. I hope you're well and safe wherever you are. And today we're going to continue on from our previous session just a couple of days ago and get a bit more practical. So let's pull this up on the presentation, and hopefully if you're on live, if you can let me know that you can see hopefully me in the bottom right and also the main presentation here. Just say hello. Hi, Roy in Sydney, Australia. That's great. Good to see you. Hi, Tom. Hi, John. Hi, Alan. Lots of people joining us now, so that's great. All right, and it looks like we're okay with the visuals here. So let's go through and crack on. So as I said last time, we looked at the benefits of creating a free email opt-in lead magnet for your business and how to dial it in to the specific desires of your audience to make it irresistible. If you remember, we talked about creating compelling offers. This is so important. It's one of the key cornerstones in whatever you do in your business. Any business, if you can make compelling offers and you know a bit about the science and the formula to do that, rather than just trying stuff and having a scattergun approach, you're made for success then, because you're putting stuff in front of people where there is existing desire. We also connected it back to bootstrapping your success, which we looked at in one of our previous sessions, and the concept of creating value in your digital products by helping people save time and hassle. So these concepts we've already talked about where we laid the groundwork. If you want to go back and have a look at those, check out the description in the YouTube video. There is a link to the resource page where you can get all of these sessions and go back at any time and access them. Also, I should have said at the beginning, if you can like the video as well on YouTube, I'd really appreciate that. That helps to spread the word. So that would be highly appreciated. If you can hit that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel. And if you click the bell icon, you'll get notified as we continue to update these sessions going forward. So you should now have 99% confidence that you can create a compelling lead magnet in pretty much any profitable market you wish, even if you feel brand new and don't have any prior experience. Now, I've put 99% because I think 100% is probably overconfidence. Maybe it's bordering on arrogance, but you should be super confident. If you're not, then feel free to recap on what we've talked about. All the tools we've got there, we've talked specifically about if you're brand new, you don't feel you've got anything to offer. What do you actually do in that situation? We covered that in detail. In fact, we spent a whole session on it. So do go back and recap. What I'm sharing with you, and increasingly going forward, when we get into some more sort of bit more intermediate stuff and some of the deeper insights, this is stuff that I've learned the hard way, if you like, at the coalface, doing this day in, day out over a decade. So don't expect to just watch like 20 minutes of this and then instantly you'll be sorted for forever. It does take some time to go in and to learn things. We also looked at some examples, because I always like to bring in some kind of bit case studies or examples or wherever we can. And these were just 3 random niches. We went through the specific design of what you would actually include in these lead magnets, how to get the information, how to compile it, and the key aspect of saving people time and money, or time and hassle, should I say, sometimes money as well. Now this time we're going to get more practical. We're going to go online and we're going to look at the basics of how to actually get this stuff up onto the internet. Now, first of all, I want to be clear that I'm not going to show you step by step how to set everything up online. And there's several reasons for this. First of all, point and click tutorials quickly become outdated. I've made many of these over the years, and it's amazing when I show something on a video that you can bet the next day the system changes, or it looks slightly different, or the tools are in a different place, and then that can become confusing. The second reason is the companies that produce these tools that help you get things online, they have their own tutorials. All right, that wasn't so much the case a few years ago. It was very hard, it was all in written articles and stuff, but now they have great videos to show you. They're the best tutorials you can get, all right, or at least they're the starting point. And any good company should have up-to-date, extensive tutorials so you can learn. You might choose to use different tools to me, all right? So as you know, in this course, if you've been watching along, I'm giving you my recommendations based on what I use and based on my results and the results of my clients over time. But of course, it's still up to you what you use. And if you use a different tool, then there's no point watching me show you how to use, it the way I do it. And also, don't forget, you can always hire someone to do the techie stuff if you want. So I have clients who do this. Personally, I occasionally do that for, like, if it's a specialist job, like a complex sort of web design thing or some technical stuff, because I'm not a coder or anything like that online, then I will hire someone. I did that recently, actually, for something specific to do with automated webinars. But generally, I like to create most of my pages myself, and I'm going to show you the basics of that today. So I am going to show you the general process, so you've got a feel for what's involved in creating web pages. Remember, this course is first principles, so I'm well aware that there'll be people watching that haven't got a clue about any of this stuff, and I want to keep you specifically in mind and bring you with us on this journey, so you don't feel confused. So what we're going to do is actually go online now, and if you remember, we looked at one of the Optin pages, one of mine before, and this is it. So this is for a lead magnet of mine. All right, I'll put the link, hopefully if I remember it, I'll put it in the description below, so you can go and check this out. It's actually the same products on the resource page, actually, on an Optin. But so if you want to go through this, you can. You're very welcome to do that. But what we're focused on is the design, and this is all created in Thrive Architect. All right, this is the plugin that I prefer to use to create my web pages. Now, I'm not going to show you how to recreate this entire thing, but what I am going to do is show you the basics of how this tool works. And then also we'll go in to this particular page and look at it in the back end, so you can start to see how these sort of pages are built up. Now, I will say before we do that is that there are lots of different very good tools for building web pages like this. All right, so there's things like ClickFunnels, there is Elementor, there is obviously Thrive Architect here, there's Optimized Press, there's loads of them. The space is super competitive and increasingly so, and the standards keep going up and up and up, which is brilliant for us, right? All of the tools pretty much work in the same way. They're all, what I'm going to show you now in terms of how you'll see how I drag elements and drop them on the page and that kind of stuff, pretty much, generally speaking, that's how all of these tools work. And this is how people create web pages, all right? So let's go over to a test site of mine, Rob's testsitehq.com. This is just a domain that I've registered that is I've had it for years, and I just try stuff out on here, right? Sometimes I'm trying new plugins and I don't care if I break things. It's just a testing area, really. So what we can do is we can go into the back end of this. Here we go. And this, if you've never seen it before, is WordPress. This is what any WordPress website looks like in the back end, the control panel. And there are many tutorials online, YouTube, you can get courses on how to use WordPress. Like any of these tools, there's always a learning curve. Again, don't expect to get it in one afternoon with a couple of cups of coffee, right? It's going to take you some time, but it's really not very difficult, all right? When I began in 2010, it was completely different. You had to copy and paste bits of HTML code and all sorts of complex stuff, and then it never really looked right online anyway. It was all skew width and stuff. These days it's so much better, but still take your time. The best thing you can do if you want to learn any tool, whether it's WordPress and you're starting out, or whether it's I don't know, an automated webinar system because you're more advanced, or you're learning how to do complex automations in ActiveCampaign or something like that for your email marketing. The best way to learn any tool, this is what I do, is just allocate 20 or 30 minutes a day and spread it over, say, a week or 10 days, however long you need, all right? So don't rush it. Don't spend all day and get frustrated. Just do little bits often. Sleep on the information, and you will get good. You'll get as good as you want to. So don't feel, if you feel you're not technical, anything like that, it does not matter, all right? You can totally do this. So the way we create an opt-in page is we'll come down to pages and we'll click add new, and we'll just give it a title. So we can go test opt-in page, or let's call it demo opt-in page, all right? And we'll click publish up there. And then all we're going to do, there's a button up here called Launch Thrive Architect, and that's going to give us the page designer to go and build our actual page. So let's have a look here. So what you can see is how it looks at the moment. This is clearly not what we want at all. So what we've got is, if we go over to the right hand side, we can go and change the templates. And just like any of the other tools that you might like to use, they all come pretty much with some templates. So you can go and filter by tags if you want to. You can go down to, there's probably some, let's see, lead generation ones here. If we tick that, then these are the kind of things that we're looking for. So we could go down and let's have a look. What about this one? Well, how about this one here? All right, we'll choose that template. That's the first thing you can do, is just choose one of their ready-made templates. Usually some of them are good, some of them, you know, are not so good, and so on. So you can browse through, have a look. But the advantage of this is it kind of gives you a ready-made version where you can just fill in the blanks. So we could go and fill in essentially download now, you know, the ultimate copy writing template pack, or whatever. We looked at some examples last time, didn't we? So you fill in your headline, you put in your subheadline, maybe you have some bullet points and that kind of thing. And that's how you can build things up. Now, this is where the email goes in, and pretty much in all the systems, including Thrive Architect, you can hook this up to your email system very easily. So in Thrive Architect, the way you do that is you go into the dashboard and Thrive dashboard, and you can connect to various services. So this doesn't just work for emails. You can really integrate and get tools to talk to other tools very, very simply. So if we click there, oh no, not there, on the plus, there's all sorts of different apps you see that you can integrate with. Loads of different stuff. An active campaign is already set up. So as I mentioned before, that's the email system that I use, which is great. Also, Aweber is a very good recommended service as well. Very reliable delivery, and it's certainly something that I'd recommend that you consider if you're starting out. So again, if you wanted to integrate Aweber, if you use that, you just go to Aweber. If you use Drip, you go to Drip, and it's really just, all you'd have to do for Aweber is click Connect, enter your credentials to log in, and it's done. It's connected. So it's that kind of stuff. It's very, very point and click. So once you've done that, then you can go back to your page and click on the button, and then you can add a connection up here in the top left, and you can click that, and we can go to Active Campaign, and then I can put them on the list, say my master list, and I could add in a tag. So I could put in Optin for copy template pack, do that kind of thing. So basically what that's going to do is when people opt in for this, it's going to put the contact information into my active campaign or into your MailChimp or into your Aweber database. So they become a subscriber of yours, and it's also going to tag them so you know where they came from. They downloaded this particular copywriting template pack. That's the basics of it. And you can get very, very complicated with pages like this and with email campaigns in particular, with tagging and you might hear about segmenting lists and all of that kind of stuff. But this is the basics of it, right? It's just more complexity on top of this. But you don't need to get complex. You just need to get people onto your list. That's the power, all right? Just good offers, compelling offers that people want, and they want to become engaged. That's the key to success, right? It's not in complex tools or crazy funnels or anything like that. Just keep it simple, but just get the basics done. So that's the first thing you can do. You could use a simple template like this. Obviously, there's lots more available. And you can even start from a blank page. This is often what I do. I prefer really to design mine from scratch. So if I would go to, let's say, a blank page here, or we'll use, let's have a look at one of these. That's okay. Let's just go to one of those. Okay, so we'll just start with a blank page this time, and we can start adding in elements. Okay, so I could get rid of that, and maybe I want a background section. So I'm going to click there. Here we go, got background section, and maybe I want to put some text on it. Okay, so this might be our headline. Okay, and this is a test site, so I haven't configured the top fonts or anything like that, but obviously you can preset the fonts and choose any font you want. We're not really going to bother doing that today, but you'll see it. So if I want to increase the font size, I can just do that. Okay, and you can see what you see is what you get. As you change things in the controls, you can actually see the page change at the same time, which is terrific. So I've got the text selected here. You can see blue is selecting the text. I'm actually going to go back to the background section. Okay, and maybe let's say we want to change the color, just to show you how you could do this. So we could go down to background style, and we could add, you could add all sorts like gradients, so it colors in different, it fades out and all this kind of stuff. Let's just go basic, and we'll just give it a horrible color just at random. Let's do that. Okay, just to show how this works. So apply. Now maybe I want to make this wider. So again, I could select that. We've got the text. I'm going to click on background section. Maybe I want to give the padding a bit more. So we make this this section a bit wider. So there's a couple of ways to do that. I could go into layout and position and adjust the padding down here. All right, so we could change that if we wanted to. We could also set a minimum height as well if we wanted to up here for the background section, and just increase it there. I think what I'm going to do is just put some padding in. So let's say 50 there, and 50 there. We can do that kind of thing, all right? And you can go on and build up the page as much as you like. So, for example, if we wanted to, let's put some, put a content box below. Now, content box allows you to change the width. So if I go to, I've got the content box selected, we can change the width down to a narrower. We're going to center it as well. So I'll go to layout and center. And again, all of this takes time to learn. You're not going to learn it just like that in any system, whether you use this or Elementor or ClickFunnels, whatever you like, right? It's all going to take time, but you can see it's very intuitive and point and click once you're familiar with it. That's what I want you to take away from this. So in there, say you wanted a couple of columns, all right? So let's say we can start adding in these different elements. So let's say we want some columns. So we'll drop that in there. How many columns do you want? So you could do all sorts of stuff, right? So let's say we want half and half. Okay, so now we've got one column, we've got another column. So we could go and add, let's say, an image in this one. And we haven't got any image files, okay, uploaded. But we could go and get one. So let's say we go to a website here, and let's say we download this one. We'll get a medium version. We'll download that. We'll go back here and we'll drag that in, and we'll put that there. So we've got our image. Now on this side, maybe we want some more text, or let's have a look. Maybe we want a list. So we could put a list in here, okay? And you could start filling out some bullet points. So this is just basic examples. Obviously, you could spend as much time as you want doing all sorts of crazy stuff here. You can also see how it looks on desktop or on tablet or on mobile just by clicking through. That's really important, particularly if you do things like Facebook ads. You will, to get traffic, you will find that virtually all, actually, in my experience, of the traffic comes from mobile. People on mobile, either through their browser or an app on a phone. So it's really important that your stuff looks good on different devices. So this is, again, easy to check by clicking the buttons at the bottom. Now there are tons and tons more features, but there's no point me giving you a kind of complete walkthrough. We'll be here for ages, and remember, whatever tool you use, there are great tutorials. For Thrive, there are many tutorials. They have great support as well if you want to ask any questions and so on. And any good system like that, as I mentioned, there's lots of other tools. Anyone that's good should have that for you as well. So that's the way to steadily learn. I love just the way I learn new tools is just go onto my practice website, my test website, and just play around and build some stuff just for fun. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I'll leave it, do something else, come back the next day, and within a week or 2, 3 weeks, which goes in no time anyway, doesn't it? You're now really competent with a new set of skills, and that is the way to progress on. Now, let's go into go back to this page, because obviously we've just played around here, but how on earth did I build this? This is much more developed, isn't it? Well, I did it in exactly the same way as that I've just shown you, obviously with more attention to detail, better color schemes and so on. But let me show you kind of how that works in the back end. So if we go into the pages and we'll search for hook book, and I think we've got, it will be here, won't it? Yeah, so if I click on this page, edit with Thrive Architect, you'll be able to see now how this looks behind the scenes. Let's have a look. Somebody's saying I'm fairly quiet. Is my audio okay? Can everyone hear me okay? If you could let me know if I'm a little bit quiet, that would be great. And while we're waiting, we've got Richard from Saudi Arabia as well. That's a new country. Welcome, Richard. Great to see you. So this one, again, I just want to show you the kind of structure of it. What we've got is we've got images, an image here. This is just an image. We've got, so you can see the breadcrumbs at the top. There's the image. That sits inside a column. And then there are two columns. I'm not sure whether you'll be able to see this on the screen very well. But that's a 2-column 50%, 50% structure, like we said. Yep, audio is great. Very good. Audio okay. Okay, thank you. So yeah, I think it's okay. It might just be might just be you there, Roy. So maybe have a look at that. And within this column, we have got a content box and then a lead generation element, okay, which is basically just there to collect emails. And look, you can see it's connected up to Active Campaign and all the connections that we just looked at. So it's all the same stuff. It's just a bit more complicated. The background section here, if I click there, we can go down and have a look at the background style. In fact, let's have a look. Is it coloured in here? Not sure. Let's have a look. It might be in the columns section. Yeah, so there's the blue colour. So if I wanted to, I'm not going to save this, but I could change that colour there to something else. All right, I'm going to cancel that. Down here, we just have another column structure. So there's a columns element, but within that, we have 2 columns and then text. Here's some bullet points, a styled list, just like we added. There's another image and so on. So you can see what you do is you kind of, it's almost like if you're an artist, you've got a blank canvas and you put on one layer, which is like maybe the sky. Then you put on another layer, which is the sea. Then you can put on some land and some palm trees or whatever picture you're building up. It's kind of like that. And you can see always where you are by looking at the top there and which items are there. After a while, you'll come to be familiar with what you need. You think, okay, I want 2 columns, so I need to get the columns element. I want to make this narrower, so that means I need a content box. This one, I want to have a page, a stripe right across the page to really highlight this features or something that you've got going on. So therefore, I need a background section. And it just builds from there, okay? So that's how you do it, all right? And that's really all there is to it. Same with the footer down the bottom. You can build that out with a background section, or you can actually have in Thrive, you can actually have global footers as well. So when you build it once, and then you can deploy that on any page you want, and you only have to change it once and it goes right throughout your site. There's loads of stuff like that. Very, very good. So that is the basics of getting stuff up online, and you will find that whatever you're creating online, whether it's, we'll go on in future sessions to talk about affiliate promotions and creating and selling your own products, whether that's a coaching offer or membership site or information products. I've done all of those and many more. All of it is done through the basics of creating a web page. So this is a really, really important, very valuable skill. So if you can choose the tool you want to use, if you're like me, you love Thrive, it's incredible value for money. It really is. That's not the main reason I use it, because I'm quite happy to pay for whatever tool that's good for me in my business. Okay, but just the support, the constant development. They just brought out a new theme builder recently, which is not, you don't pay any extra for. They just give it to you, right? Because you get in the membership, and it's a fraction of the cost of many of the other tools. But whatever you choose to use, so you might agree with that, or you might say, no, Rob, I want to use something else. That's fine as well. They're all work roughly in the same way. Get familiar with one tool, the tool of your choice, because that's the main thing to get all these offers online. And that's where the success, that's where the money is. That's how you can help customers and clients with great information, with helping them save time and hassle, and help them get to where they want to go, and at the same time run your business for profit. That's the key. So building web pages is really, really important. I am no designer. I haven't got an eye for design at all. You don't have to do that, right? There is some copywriting stuff that comes into this. Again, we'll be covering little bits of copywriting stuff. We'll probably have a session dedicated to it in future on these live streams. So let's jump back now to the main slides. So here's the delivery process for your email opt-in. Okay, so we have a visitor arrives at your opt-in page. Those are the ones we just saw. They enter their email and click the submit button. And once that happens, they go through to the thank you page. I'll show you an example in a minute. That just says, thank you for signing up. Please go and check your email. Your email marketing system sends them a welcome email. So it's subject line, congratulations, here's your download. They open and click the link in the email and they go to the download page. And then they download what they opted in for. So the sequence is this. They arrive at the opt-in page. They go through to the thank you page, and then they go through to the download page. Now, the reason we don't give them what they opted in for directly on the thank you page, i.e. the page after they click submit, is because we want to check that their email address is good. We don't want people putting in kind of random characters at randomcharacters.com and getting our stuff. All right, the purpose here is to build a quality list. So that's why, one of the reasons anyway, there's some more reasons we do this, but one of the other reasons is that the main reason is that we want to redirect them via email. All right, so make sure that we've got a quality email list. So here's an example of the thank you page. All right, please check your inbox. We've just sent you an email. That's all it says. All right. And there's a picture of me, author of the Hook book. I've updated this now, I think, or this is on one of the versions. But whatever you like, that's the main message. All right. You can also present an offer here, a paid offer, which can be very powerful as well. But that's a little bit more intermediate and maybe and stuff. So maybe we'll get to that later. And then after they get the email, they click the link in the email, then they get through to the thank you page, all right? And it's a good idea to put people through steps. So I've got step 1, download what you opted in for. Step 2, watch this 45-minute unique positioning crash course. And there's me delivering that content with a haircut. Back in the days when I could get my hair cut, can't anymore. And the clippers from Amazon still haven't arrived. But that's the process, all right? So you don't have to have a video, by the way, or anything. They can just download your nano product, your 2-pager, very quick to create, and you're adding value, you're helping them, you're engaging with them, they're onto your email list. So that is the bulk of what we wanted to cover with web pages. But remember, the core foundation for everything you do is not strategies like these or learning Thrive Architect or whatever you use. It's actually the core foundation for your success is mindset and productivity. Without that, you're not going anywhere. So that's why at the end of these live streams, always try and give you a little insight, a little tip into what really works, what I found to really improve your mindset. So it's more business orientated and contributing to customers to genuinely help them and clients, and also productivity, so you can really just get stuff done, right, without hours of screen time. So this one is really important. It's the power of checklists. Here's a checklist developed by a very well-renowned surgeon, or it originated at least from him, that was published by the World Health Organization. Now this one page, it's a nano product really. If you think about it, it's a 1-page PDF. Okay, and after they introduced this, they found death rates in surgeries dropped by up to 47%. You can go and check this out on the World Health Organization website. But the point is that it doesn't matter how clever you are, how much training you've done, how experienced you are, we're still human. You can still skip steps, you can still make mistakes. So for surgeons, it's great if they can just check off every single time, what have we done this? Have we done that? What about this? And so on. Just simple stuff, all right? It's the same with airline pilots. They do checklists as well before they take off. Every single time. It doesn't matter. They could be flying for 30 years, the best test pilot in the world. It doesn't matter. They do a very simple task, a checklist. And this is very, very powerful. It's also really important for your business. So let's say, and this is possibly something we'll look at in a future session, but for example, let's say we wanted to put together an evergreen affiliate promotion, all right? That's our overall goal. What do? We create a mini checklist for it. I do this all the time. Multiple times I've done it this week, actually. All right, we're only on Thursday, but I do it all the time. And I do it in Notepad++, right, which is a free text editor you can get online. But whatever you do, break it down. I put a plus and what I want to achieve. Then I put minus underneath it and all the different steps that I need to accomplish. And then what I can do is, let's say it's Tuesday next week. Tuesday morning, I'm sat down with my coffee and I think, oh yeah, I'm on step 4 here. Okay, build the web page with Thrive Architects. Right, I'll go on and do that for 30 minutes. Work on that specific task. So these big projects, or any project you want to do, it's always broken down into little steps. By making a checklist of that, you've now just got nice, easy, enjoyable tasks just to get that done, get that done, get that done, and so on. You don't miss anything. It's very methodical and it's very enjoyable because you're ticking stuff off. So you're getting constant mini rewards, if you like, for making progress. I can't recommend it enough. So that's today's session. Please do like this video. I'd really appreciate it if you can. Also share this. As I've said, this is really just it's completely free, open access during this difficult period that we're going through. In the description, there's also the Facebook group. I'll be posting there tomorrow, probably a video on my phone, just with some updates, in particular the transcriptions, how you can get those transcriptions, again for free. There's no charge for any of this. The transcriptions for the sessions, and also the slide packs as well. If you would like to download those as well, watch the Facebook group tomorrow. I'll be updating you on that. And thank you very much to everyone who's attended live. It's brilliant to see you here. I love the fact that we're doing these live rather than just as a recorded video. And if you can attend next week, we will be continuing on. We are going to be starting on Tuesday again. And I think what we're going to do on Tuesday is look at some graphics. We saw some of the web pages today where some graphics were included, but I didn't explain how we do those, did I? Well, there's some cool tools. In fact, one particular free tool that is fabulous for this that I'm going to share with you next time. So we'll be getting into all that and lots more to come as well. So whatever you're doing, have a brilliant weekend and stay safe, as they say. That's the common phrase at the moment. And any questions, do post in the Facebook group. I'm in there. I'm here to help you. Just ask anything. There's no silly questions at all. Enjoy it. Absorb the information. Have fun. It's such a brilliant business, this is. It's terrific because you can make it up as you go along, and you've got a global audience, location independence, and a flexible lifestyle. So I wouldn't change it for the world. It's one of the best things that I've ever done. And until next week, we will see you then. So take care for now. Cheers for now. Bye.